This is a video for the Dislyte boys. If you're not them, get out.
Hello and welcome back to Dislyte News, the Dislyte News for your Dislyte News. New patch is coming up, and we're gonna talk about new espers yet again. So since the last patch, there's not any new espers except for Meta Drew, which everyone might be able to get in Celestial Anomaly, so we're just gonna skip the last ones and go to the new one. So for the new esper, we have Bad Run, or most people is just gonna call him Khonshu. You know, the moon! Yeah. So what Khonshu is basically he's a support. That is to say he's a support that supports Meta Drew. His kit is mostly about reducing the max HP of the enemies and just reviving allies. So that's kind of like really good for Meta Drew, or at least that it's supposedly. And yet, we still don't really have a way for Meta Drew and all our espers to really die for them to be revived. So for now, he's really just for PvP, because that's the only place you can really die most of the time. For Bad Run, R0 is enough for him. You don't really need any of his rezos, but the rezos that are pretty good are R2 and R6. So yeah. So for Bad Run, I would say that currently he's not worth, but maybe in the future he would be worth, so who knows. Now let's talk about the weekly espers. For week 1, we have Phantom Sisters and Archibald. Phantom Sisters is a pretty good support, especially in the early mid game, and still used a bit in the end game, especially in Falsetto Fantasy and Shadowfire. For Phantom Sisters, while R0 is good enough, R2 is where it really shines, because R2 can revive allies, so that's pretty cool. So for Phantom Sisters, unless you're like in early mid game, it's only like slightly worth it to pull for them. So yeah, for Archibald, he's not really used anywhere. I mean, maybe you can use him in PvP, but definitely not in PvE. The only significant thing about Archibald is his one swing debuff, which can do true damage, and so R0 is honestly enough. You don't really need anything else. So at the end, I would say Archibald is a skip. For week 2, we have Hilda and Famitsuki. Hilda is a really good controller, really good at poisoning the enemies, and really good at sleeping the enemies. But right now, Hilda doesn't really have a meta in PvP, so she's now mostly used only in PvE. For rezos, R6 is still the best rezo for Hilda, and the rest doesn't even compare. So if you're rich, then maybe you can go for her. But I don't think she's that worth it. At the end, I'll put her at like slight worth. For Famitsuki, however, she's not used at all, and she's only mostly usable in like PvP, because her kit's all about like stunning and all that. But you could argue that you can use R2 for PvE, especially in like Dark Starlord, because R2 basically dispels any buffs from the enemies. So yeah. At the end, I would still say Famitsuki is a skip. For week 3, we have Ollie and Hai. Ollie being here, I feel like it's just for that meta Ollie boost. You know what I mean? Like, you know, all the meta espers having their R1 be like, oh, your original Ollie rezos boosts your meta Ollie rezos. Did I say that right? Yeah, probably. So for Ollie at endgame, he's not really used anywhere anymore, but in early to mid game, he's really good for Chronos. In terms of rezos, I would say that R0 is honestly enough for him. His rezos don't really like do a big impact. It's good to have, but you don't need it. So for Ollie, I would say that he's not really worth. For Hyde, he is completely power crept by Suizai. Like, you do not see Hyde anywhere, but you see Suizai everywhere. Well, PvP. But, you know. So, because he's power crept so much, Hyde is not used at all. Like, anywhere. If you do want to pull him, honestly, just R0 is enough. Any rezos feels like it's a waste. And yeah, basically Hyde is a skip. You might as well just go for Suizai instead. So yeah, that's all the espers coming out next patch. Also, there's like a few Shimmer esper boosts. The most prominent one that I can think of is Una's, because his R6 is being dragged down to R0. Yeah, that's gonna be broken. Especially R6 Una's is actually used in like several metas. So yeah. Una's fans eating good this time. As for the other Shimmer espers, I mean, they're all buffs, but you know, there's nothing really like catches my eye, honestly. It's mostly Unas. Yeah. Anyways, share more stickers. Bye.